mbele. Unasonga. Haina shida, haina. Niko saidia hapa.
Tembea pia na nyuma ukipiga. Tembea pia na nyuma.
Tukaribieni ile gari ya mbele. Karibia gari ya mbele. Mwende mbele hiyo. Twende. Atukaribie tuko nyuma yake. Tutapata picha tukienda mbele. Tukienda mbele baba tutapata.
Sio unapiga mzuri.
Salama alhamdulillah.
All right, all eyes are now in Parliament and the procession starts moving from Treasury heading to Parliament where they're going to table the first maiden budget for the Kenya Kwanza government. It's literally just about 5 minutes from Treasury heading into Parliament where the Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, the CS for Treasury, is expected to table his budget, which is about 3.6 trillion Kenya shillings. And there are many from the budget estimates that somehow have gained a lot. One of them is the education sector. We're talking about 627.7 billion shillings, with the technical and vocational education and training being allocated about 28.2 billion, vocational education and training 27.9 billion, youth training 55.6 million. A lot of numbers going in there, but they're just a few that you need to pick. First, budget is at 3.6 trillion. Next, the deficit is at 720, but there are redemptions of about 850 billion. That's the reason why sometimes you see the difference in budget, people saying it's about 4.4 trillion. If you add the redemptions, which is about 850 billion, that is just the debt obligation that we have. But earlier on, those conversations in terms of 500 billion being borrowed from the local market, what impact will that have on businesses, Vicky? That's where the conversation was going, because they said 500 billion will be borrowed here, and then the other 300 billion external.
I mean, those are all numbers that they'll have a year to figure out and make sense of as they implement this, which tends to be the challenge. You know, it's a fantastic piece of legislation and policy, but the other end of it is execution. Yeah. Let me begin with you, CFPA. Mukua, implementation, do you think they'll be able to get that right this time?
Victoria, I really don't know, but there are challenges.
Hopeful at least.
Hopeful, yes. Of course, we remain optimistic. Things will go on well, but we are in a very tight situation as a country. And I might say this, that in terms of the expenditure, there's nothing you can do. You can't cut down on education. That's disastrous, because babies are being born every day. And as years go by, one graduates from kindergarten to primary, junior, secondary. Then if you try to cut down on education, and God forbid, we have people who are not learned, you know, they are very difficult to govern, and therefore there's nothing you can do as far as education is concerned. Health, nothing you can do. You must ensure that the facilities are there. You must ensure there are drugs, medicine, and equipment, and so on. But I say this on the flip side. We are concentrating much more on expenditure, but we are failing to put in place policy interventions that